Hey, this is Kit Cabello of Harlan's Media. We're downtown in the city of Chicago covering the Medicare for All March. I'm joined here with one of the candidates who's running for the Illinois 14th District, Jim Walz. You were on our main show, Harlan's Media, on Q4 Radio, which is on every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're really grateful to have you out here. So, essentially, what brings you out here to this march?
Well, with what is happening out of Washington, with the legislation that's been passed recently by the House of Representatives, and now the discussions out of the Senate, now is the time that we reach for the ultimate solution to our health care needs, and that's Medicare for All, single-payer health care system. Health care is a right and not a privilege. In the wealthiest country in the world, I don't believe that anybody should have to choose between taking the medicine that they need to get themselves better or having the money to pay for the food to put on their table or the shelter that they need, the roof over their head. And again, now is the time that we strive for this. There are incremental steps, I believe, that can be done, such as reducing the eligibility age of Medicare down to 55. That would allow people, because let's face it, a lot of people stay on their job for the sole purpose of the health care that or the health insurance they have through their employer. And if we gave them the opportunity to retire if they have the financial means to retire earlier, we should give them the option of doing so. We should also allow for the negotiation of our drugs for Medicare, just as we do for the VA and Medicaid. And then we should also allow for the reimportation of drugs. You know, just those last 2 points would save our economy tens of billions of dollars, and again, that would be a step towards single-payer health care.
And it's quite clear that 2018 will be a very intense election cycle. There will be challengers to establishment Democrats who have been in power for years, and now when you have this Senate Minority Leader, Senator Schumer, is basically saying now we should talk about single-payer health care. Do you believe in his actions that he'll actually follow through with that, or is it just half measures from the DNC? And if so, doesn't this not make the case stronger for like Justice Democrat candidates, brand new Congress candidates, our Revolution candidates to effectively replace long-sitting Democratic establishment leaders?
I agree with you. As a matter of fact, I'm happy to say that just recently I was endorsed by our Revolution Illinois Bernie-Crad group, so I'm very proud of that, and I'm thankful to them for that support. But yes, now is the time to strike. You know, I'm not into half measures. Can we get the full pie? That's what I'm going to shoot for. But I'd rather have 80% of 100 than 100% of nothing. And I think again, now is the time. I was heartened by what came out of Washington today. I hope that we follow through with a stronger message, and I trust time will tell. But I know that what I'm doing out there on a daily basis is promoting universal health care, Medicare for all. I mean, let's face it. I mean, just the legislation that was passed out of the House. Just imagine those 23 million people that are on Obamacare, not knowing what the future holds, the stress that they are unnecessarily going through. I mean, let's face it. Stress is a very unhealthy thing, and what the people in Washington are doing is really immoral in my mind, and something that we need to address immediately.
And it's quite clear there's a big difference between what our elected officials have in regards for health care and the people that they're supposed to represent have. Take, for example, Senator John McCain, who unfortunately has been afflicted with a terminal form of cancer, and we hope he has a safe and quick recovery. But if that happened to an average citizen, they either go bankrupt or they'll die. What are your thoughts on basically the huge separation between what our elected officials have in regards for health care and what the citizens of this country have?
Right. First of all, I agree with everything you said about Senator McCain, a true war hero, and everybody that I know wishes him nothing but the best and speedy recovery. When an individual loses their job through no fault of their own, and they have to rely on a much lower income, and then they eventually lose their health care, nobody should fall victim of the fact that through no fault of their own they lost their job and hence their insurance. We should not. We are the only industrialized country in the world that has their citizens have this type of worry. Everybody deserves the same medical care, regardless of your income level, and regardless of your zip code. We are all in this together, and we have to be there for each other when things are tough. And if, I wouldn't want my next door neighbor to fall ill. I want the health care that they need to be there for them. And we definitely we have to strive for a single payer health care system. Give everybody the same insurance that Senator John McCain has. And the one thing I find very ironic with what is being discussed out of Washington, when Ted Kennedy, the Affordable Care Act was then in discussion, and he fell ill in the same fashion that Senator McCain did. I find the irony pretty thick that both senior members of their respective parties fell prey to the same or similar type of malady. I just think that that's kind of ironic, and I don't know if that's karma, but it certainly is a coincidence.
All right, and final question. In regards to single-payer health care, of course, you're going to be running in the 14th district, and like in every election cycle, candidates will say, well, this can't be done, this can't be done. What do you want to say to people who say to you that single-payer health care can't be done in the United States, that we shouldn't worry about it, that's not a big deal? What do you want to say to that? Because you're going to have to deal with that during this election cycle.
I've dealt with it since I used to go to Joe Walz town halls. I've been fighting this fight for 8 years out in the public by going to Joe Walz town halls when he was a representative in Washington. I approached Bruce Rauner in the same fashion before he became governor. We have to go for this. There is no question in my mind. We have to take the profit motive out of our health insurance industry. The only health care that our health insurance companies provide is stress, and we have to eliminate that. We have to be able to negotiate prices with our pharmaceutical companies, big pharma. Let's face it, and big banks. Let's face it, the insurance company are part of the big financial institutions. Big pharma and big banks, they have a stranglehold on a lot of people in Washington D.C. And I pledge to the people of the 14th district and beyond that I will bring representation for everybody to Washington D.C. And the more and more people that I come across are now becoming more in favor of single payer. We just have to go out and educate everybody else, and I believe that that's the right path to take, and I'm going to do everything I can to advance the measure.
All right, that's a great note to end on. Jim Walz, thank you for joining Hard Lens Media, and to our audience, let's all do what we can to build a better future. Peace, everyone.